already started the crusade by providing the farmers with the requisite tools to be able to innovate to better their livelihoods.
JIP has set the pace. It is a pace setter in agriculture. It is an example, and the rest is for the WAP and others to follow in that. It is always important, and I'm a believer of that, that you need smart subsidies in agriculture. I mean, the West, they subsidize their agriculture, but they tell us to remove subsidies. You know, we need smart subsidies. You gave these people the inputs, the machinery, the seeds, the fertilizer, and you saw the improvement in yield. You saw the improvement in hectarage. That showed that with smart subsidies, the Gambian farmers could make a difference. One, it would enhance their purchasing power. Two, it would at least, give them domestic food security. And number three, they would have some reserves which they would be able to plow back, and then, move in terms of their drive to alleviate domestic poverty, income poverty, and food poverty at that level. So I think it makes sense to have projects that have smart subsidies. And I think, the policy of agriculture, the idiom of the policy of agriculture should be to reflect those kinds of realities which JIP has demonstrated. The evidence is tangible to that fact, and you can use always those facts and that data to be able to replicate that in other projects. But it takes, as I said, courage. It takes drive. It takes, togetherness. It takes sometimes being a little bit, some character building to get these things. With everybody, the stakeholders, everybody. Don't underrate the farmers. The farmers are perhaps more important than you and I. I'll give you another story of a man who came back from Oxford with his PhD. One said Drame came from Oxford with his PhD in agronomy. And he was crossing the Bintang Bolong with one Badara Juv who is just a farmer there. And he asked me whether I went to Oxford. And I said no. He said, I have wasted half of my life. Midway down the stream, I turned to Sid. I said, can you swim? He was so angry with me that a man from Oxford with his PhD being asked by this small farmer whether he can swim. I told him yes, because the boat is sinking and you have wasted the whole of your life. So being at Oxford could not save him the whole of his life. Being a farmer saved me half of my life. So don't underrate these farmers. Work with them and then you will make a difference in your drive. I think, the EU did a good job in intervening after the crisis of the 3Fs. And on behalf of the bank, I would like to return thanks to the EU. I'm sure we would partner within the spirit of the Paris Declaration and aid coordination so that we will have more of JIPs and more of these increases in yield and hectarage and improvement in the livelihoods of the common Gambian people, so that at least we eradicate poverty and then we are able to achieve the aspirations of the page and also be able to achieve the Vision 2020. So that when we meet with 2020, we would have been vindicated by the fact that we did invest not only in our time budget, not only in our finances, but in the development of our peoples in terms of their self-actualization to become, truly, people who are independent economically, who are independent intellectually, who are independent politically, and who have, the means to make the younger generation, more independent than us. The sustainability of the Gambian folk depends primarily on the sustainability and the achievement of agriculture. So agriculture is the key driver in this sense. And together we can make a difference. Thank you so much.
What we are commissioning here today has been done many, many, many years ago. And like so many other speakers have said, what JIP has done within this short period of time, I think everybody will attest to me that there are very few, if any project, who has actually done what JIP has done within a very short period. On behalf of the Ministry of Agriculture, some people have said that actually this is something that will lead us to Vision 2020, the page. But for me, I will say that the Millennium Development Goal number 1 has been achieved as far as GIF is concerned. And really, I think we should be very grateful and thank the EU and the World Bank for setting this pace for us. What GIP has done and is continuing to do started right here at Yundum, at the military barracks, the West Coast region, the LRR, the URR, the NBR. We and the ministry can attest to this because we have seen it. Now it is up to the implementing partners, just like the DG NARI and DG DOA has said, that they will keep up to see that these things are maintained. And they'll see to it that, you know, we can produce seeds, not only for us, but maybe for the sub-region also. And we are hoping that definitely this we can achieve. So in terms of sustainability, we are definitely confident that these structures and everything that is going to be commissioned today will be sustained, they will be maintained, and they will be put into good use, not only for the staff of DOA and NARI, but for the beneficiaries who are the most important in all these things that who are the farmers. These are the people that we are to support. These are the people that are going to produce the crops that we are talking of, and definitely we should encourage them, and we should put, you know, set the stage to encourage them to definitely maintain everything that we are talking.
Thank you very much. You are welcome to the set of GS for plant protection with GIPS. This thing was formally done with the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the project and my director, the Department of Agriculture, Bakau, by Mr. Sedrame, who himself is present today. GIP project, the broad objective of GIP project is to enhance production and productivity. This is the mission for the Department of Agriculture. So when we were asked on board, it was like coming to do our own work. And we have been collaborating with GIP since that day in the area of planning for the distribution, planning for the seed multiplication centers, and also training farmers. GIP has invited us in the training of farmers in the area of plant protection. We have trained farmers from all the intervention areas in the use of application equipment. We have trained farmers to protect their seeds. These are very important areas where the productivity of crops is very important. And since in the morning we were talking about food security, the other dimension of the protection contribution is facilitation of trade. We have been told and we have realized the intervention of GIF brought us increase in yield. And this increase in yield, the surplus can be traded. And for us to do trading with our products, they have to be quality. And that's where, in most cases, the issue of plant protection or the contribution of plant protection also is very important. So now, if you look around, we have set of protective gears here, because at times we are dealing with pesticides. When we are dealing with pesticides, the operator, be it a farmer or a commercial protector, operator, and also our environment, needs to be protected. So cognizant of this, the project thought it will be very important to put it in the model how these farmers would be able to protect themselves. They would be protecting their faces, their hands, anywhere contamination can come through dermal or inhalation. I'm sorry for the terms, but the modules were done and most of the farmers were trained in those areas. So this is to help them protect their crops, get their products consumed in wholesome, so that they will not be protected and the consumers will also not be contaminated. So you have the set of protective gears here, from the face masks, the overalls, the boots, the respirators, and also the gloves, and also you also have the, this is a very important protective gear. It helps